This podcast contains paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, where I discuss how you can grow your business by the bootstraps. This applies to everyone with an entrepreneurial spirit. That includes bootstrappers just starting out, established business owners, and business leaders. My goal is to help you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host, Isaiah O'Connor. Today's sponsor is Audible. Audible.com/bootstrap if you want to support our channel, my channel here. And today I am talking about giving and the importance of having a giving spirit. And part of that, and I even mentioned this in the original podcast, is a book titled The Go Giver. It's a short little story written by Bob Berg. It's an amazing little book about how to change your outlook on life and provide values for others. And when you change your outlook from a person just out for themselves into a person who's out to give, how when you really become a giver at heart, not just to get, but to be a giver, how it can change your life in business and in general, and just how important it is that being a successful person is to be a giver. And the book, The Go Giver, is a great story. It's written in a story format. It's written, like I said, by Bob Berg. It's an amazing book. I highly, highly recommend it. And you can go get a free copy on audible.com/bootstrap with a capital B for a free 30-day trial. And if you do the 30-day trial at the $14.95 level, you get one free audio book, The Go Giver. You get 2 Audible originals, and you also get to listen to everything on their listening library while you're there. It's amazing. There's no contract. You can quit at any time, but you're not going to want to because they're amazing. It's really changed my life. So you can go get your free copy, The Go Giver, from audible.com/bootstrap. It's an amazing book. You keep it forever. Even if you cancel the subscription, any regular book you download and any Audible original you download, you get to keep forever. The ones that are in the listening library, they're kind of the streaming type thing, so they're with a subscription. But the free one book a month with 1 credit and the 2 Audible originals you get every month, you keep forever. It's amazing. Go check it out. Now, without any further ado, one of my most popular podcasts to date and one of my personal favorites, because I think it's so important to have a giving spirit. Today I'm going to talk about kind of a continuation of my last episode, and I'm going to talk about a giving spirit. This is how you can keep from becoming greedy, but that's not going to be my point. So I'm going to start with a question for you. As an entrepreneur, as a really strong business person, as the really high energy winning type personality, who do you think the most successful type of person is in general? The hard driver who doesn't care about who they step on the way up, or the nice guy that just lets everyone step on him just because he's so nice? In other words, do nice guys really finish last? Well, a professor named Adam Grant did a study on this very topic. You can find a study. I'll link to the study in the information below. But he wrote an article about it. And in this study, he found that, in a sense, nice guys do finish last. But here's the surprise part. The hard-driving, no-nonsense, kind of jerk-type guys, they did not come in first. Matter of fact, he gave them names. He called the hard-driving types the operators. There's 3 types of people he found. And the operators were the selfish and aggressive types. Then he called another group matchers, which is the general public who do things for others but keep score. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Yeah, I'm going to make you coffee today, but you better be bringing me an espresso tomorrow. That type of thing. We kind of keep score. Kind of always kind of, I'll be nice to you, but you have better be nice to me, back and forth, back and forth. He calls those type, again, matchers. And then the last type are the givers. Straight up givers. It's pretty clear. Now, the nice guys, givers. The givers, turns out, populated 2 sections in his study. The top and the bottom. Now, he goes into very detailed analysis of this in the article. But in a nutshell, he says, the givers that are also assertive enough not to be doormats are the most successful people. And the guys who give but let people walk all over them are at the bottom. Now, here's something to think about. If you're a giver and honestly kind of spineless, you will fail. You will not be at the top. You will be the nice guy that finishes last. But if you're a complete jerk, you're not going to make the top either. And that's kind of interesting. It's not something I thought I'd hear about. But then I thought, okay, so that's one study. It's a good study. It's a great article, great study. But is it just this one guy? Was the study very accurate? Was it peer-reviewed or whatever? But the thing is, I found something about principles. Now, what are principles? Principles are things, kind of like laws, that work pretty much every single time, and they supersede barriers of race or origin or country or culture. These types of principles work no matter where you are. Kind of like laws, but not quite always, but just the general principle tends to be strong. And I find that when there's a really good, solid principle behind someone's idea, it's spread around. A lot of people talk about it. And I have found that in multiple business books that talk about this type of thing. A great book called The Go-Giver, an entire book based on the principle of giving to be successful, but not giving because you want to be successful, but giving because that's the right thing to do and success will follow. Great, incredible book. I highly, highly recommend it. It's by Bob Berg. You can actually be on his Facebook page. He gives lives. It's great. He keeps giving. But then I've come across it in a lecture on the principles, basics, important business skills for success, a full-on lecture from the great courses. The key things, one of the key things they mentioned was giving. I found it in the book Thou Shalt Prosper. I found it in Dave Ramsey's book, The Legacy Journey. Actually, in a lot of Dave Ramsey's book, he comes back to this idea of being giving and how giving, it's not a magic thing, but when you become a giver, you are more open to receive, you're more open to help people, they're more open to help you, and you're more successful. It just seems to be a theme, and it's not just one study, one report, one book, or one author. It's across the board. Being a giver is a good thing. You see, here's how this kind of works. Giving people tend to take care of others' needs. They tend to be more agreeable to work with, and in my personal experience, more trustworthy. Givers tend to attract people to them as well. Those people include customers and clients, and their employees tend to be happier as well. And again, if your employees are happy, your customers will be happy with your employees and come back. So again, if you're a nice guy and you're strong enough to stand up for yourself, you can make your employees happy, you can make the people around you happy. It just draws more and more people and customers and clients and more successful. Now, some of the most successful people in my industry, in the balloon industry, are givers. Now, one of these people is a guy named David Mahoney, and he has a company out in Texas called Balloons Every Day. It's a big company for balloon artists. He's got like 16 people, 17 people working for him. He does a lot of sales, and he's very, very successful. Now, he won't say he's successful, but he is successful. By my standard, he's successful. And the biggest thing about him is his heart, and he's consistently helping the little guy, the guys who are just getting started in the balloon business, struggling to get by. He tells them how to make the equipment they need to make. He gives them tips on selling, tips on marketing, tips on running a business, important things like get insurance, guys. As a business person, you need it. And he just helps people out all the time. He's constantly doing this, and he never asks for anything in return. I mean, finally, somebody pushed him, and he finally made a DVD about what he does with details of how to do what he does. But that was only because people were begging him to make it, and so he just had him record him teaching at a conference, and that's the DVD. But he still doesn't even push it or mention it or anything else. He always just helps people when they ask for help. He's amazing. And then there's another guy in Australia who started and maintains a Australia-wide balloon network of balloon artists, and he helps them all out. And again, he is constantly helping. He's constantly giving out tips. He has a YouTube channel where he's constantly giving out free advice, free tips on how to do things in the industry. And he's such a great guy. His name's Chris Ademo. He's such a great guy. I actually was stuck on a job, frustrated, freaking out about how I was going to do it. I called him. He was, I think, on vacation or at a conference and having a time off at lunch. And he answered the phone and he helped me through my problem. I mean, he took his time out, and he's just an incredibly generous giver of his time and heart. And he is one of the most successful guys in the balloon industry. Again, they'll both probably be very embarrassed that I talk about them like this, but they are prime examples of a giving spirit and yet being incredibly successful. So, see, here's the thing to remember. It is okay to be generous as well as dangerous, and you have to learn to be both. For me, it's really been hard for me to learn to be assertive and stand up for myself because I've been the doormat. I'm the nice guy that let people walk over me. And in order for me to be more successful at just business and even at jobs I've worked at, etc., I've had to learn how to be assertive enough to take care of the problems and yet still be the nice guy that I am at heart. So it's a hard balance to strike. You can very easily go too aggressive and be a jerk, or you can be too nice and be a doormat. Very easy thing to go both ways. So I guess the takeaway from this, in order to be successful, you need to have a giving spirit and yet remain strong and purposeful. This will help you push through the bottlenecks that we may face at times. And this brings me to going to be the subject of my next podcast, which is bottlenecks and facing bottlenecks and what we do with them. If you found value in this content, please leave a comment and give us a 5-star rating on whichever podcast platform you use. We're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, and most other podcast platforms. If you would like to support us, you can check out our sponsor links, or if you'd like to support us directly, you can donate or join our membership program at buymeacoffee.com/bootstrap. Of course, it really helps when you share these podcasts with your friends as well. If you'd like to interact with me and other bootstrappers and leaders, you can join us over at our O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast Facebook group. You have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, an Atheoz Business Solutions podcast. For a companion podcast, the Atheoz Business Podcast, which is hosted by Jason St. Clair, past episodes and related blogs, please check out our website at www.atheoz.com, which is at www.atheoz.com or theoz.com. Until next time, I have been your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor.